Game on.
Hello everyone, this is Willie from Arcade USA, and you're watching Glen's Retro Show! Game on!
Hi everybody, thank you for joining me on the next edition of Glen's Retro Show. It's been one heck of a week. We had a tropical storm go through here and basically had no power for a few days. I had a backup generator which, of course, died when you needed it the most. What else is new, right? But we're doing a video today about probably one of my, well actually it is one of my all-time favorite games. It's probably the third arcade game I actually played when I was a little kid. Of course I played, Pong and Breakout. Those machines were out before this game. But when I saw this game, I went through pretty much any money I had. I became a quarter addict. I had to do whatever I had to do to get another quarter to play this game. And of course that was 1978's Space Invaders. Now, Space Invaders is definitely one of the official classic machines. You had Space Invaders, Asteroids, Donkey Kong. Those kind of games just kind of changed the industry when they came out. And of course Space Invaders broke the bank in Japan where that game had come out. And it really did kind of change the industry because it really made people want to go play these big machines out, in the malls or wherever you could find them. And it's been done quite a few times. Of course Atari, the 2600 was not as popular until Space Invaders came out, and then it was flying off the shelves. And today Space Invaders just made a comeback. We have the tiny arcade Space Invaders, which is really, really nice. You have the the arcade one with their Space Invaders, the 40th anniversary edition, and I had actually two of those. And I actually had Richie Knuckles actually stop by the studio here. Richie Knuckles is playing my Zaxxon. I'm not good at this game, but I like it. As you can see. And my neighbor, Mary Parker, favorite game.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
Actually that, Kaboom, which he kicks my ass in constantly.
I'm getting pretty good at Kaboom.
Of course, with my spinner, they should do great.
Yeah. Come on, Rick! You better have your shitting pants on. Glenn, you are a badass!
And I actually gave him one of them because he probably likes Space Invaders even more than I do. He's got some really high scores in that game. And I was really excited to have Richie Knuckles, stop by the studio. That was kind of cool. But now, there are other people releasing machines, and one of the companies that's come out with something that's really exciting to me is from MyArcade. Now, MyArcade kind of started off at the very low end of the pool with, $20 little arcade machines with just games that weren't great, but there was a $10 arcade machine which was kind of neat to have, but the games on it were, quite questionable. And then they came out with their, Data East license. They had some, Data East arcade games on these machines, and again, the shells weren't always the best, but then they kept stepping up their game. They came up with their Data East larger machine, which I was able to hack and put an actual arcade machine, other games on there. But I actually had Data East arcade machines on there, which is great because I kept Negan away from me. Oh, there better not be any Nes Roms on there, buddy. Anyway, after that, they came out with their Namco edition machine. So basically, they would step up their game every once in a while. Now, their bread and butter, from what I'm really concerned about here, is their $20 MyArcade line. And they've come out with some pretty good games. I think for the most part, I enjoy them for $20. They have a little light-up coin door. They are NES ROMs. I told you, there better not be any NES ROMs on there, Glenn. I know, Negan. I'm not talking about that right now. I'm just saying what I did do in the past. Anyway, the games are mostly good. Probably the one I had the most problems with was the Galaga. The sounds and just the way the machine played just really was a miss for me. But again, I just am glad that these companies kind of listen to us every once in a while. So last year, or very early in this year, I think it was actually last year though, they announced a new Space Invaders. And why would you get so excited over that? Well, it's more so of what they're doing with the machine. From looking at what they were going to come out with, it looked like it may have the arcade ROM on it, had light-up marquee, light-up coin door, looked great artwork, but more importantly, it looks like they're using the mirror effect. Now, when Space Invaders first came out in the arcades, as Richie Knuckles would definitely attest to, is the screen was actually down here, and they had a piece of plexiglass on an angle, and the screen displayed the Space Invaders here, and they had a background image of a planet or something else in the background. It looked like the invaders were now moving like ghosts over that playfield. And again, that's just how the arcade machine was. And so far, no one has even attempted to do that. I know with like MAME, if you're emulating it, you can put a backdrop in there, but it's not the exact same effect, but at least MAME tried. Most of these other companies, like I was a little disappointed with Arcade 1-Up with their 40th anniversary edition. Yeah, they did Space Invaders, it looked nice, but they really could have done the same thing there. They could have put the monitor facing down, there's plenty of room in the machine, put a mirror in the backdrop, and that would have made a real, true, awesome 40th anniversary edition. So a little bit of a disappointment with Arcade 1-Up there. But back to what we're talking about today, which is MyArcade. So I saw Willie, my friend over at Arcade USA, had gotten it off Amazon, and I didn't know it had released yet. But thanks to Willie, I do. And this is it right here. Now, we're going to talk about this, and I'm not going to go into super detail, because actually Willie and I are planning on doing a shared video, whether it be a live stream or something like that, to kind of talk about this. Because this thing here is actually a pretty big deal, in my opinion. I haven't even looked at it yet, so I'm talking a lot about how big deal it is. Haven't looked at it yet. But even just looking at the box, you know, it's definitely bigger lengthwise here than the other MyArcades. And you know what? The box alone is really got me captivated. So Richie Knuckles, if you're watching, you might want to go on Amazon and get one of these, because this might be, potentially, we'll find out in this video, the best Space Invaders yet. But let's get a closer look of this here, because you can't even really tell right now how amazing this box is. The coloring in the box, we'll get a little bit closer, I have some lights here. But the box actually has these like blue speckles in it. I mean, they've always done a really nice job with their decals and the boxes, but this box here is just beyond phenomenal. Again, it's really giving you a tease of what's going to be inside this machine, because the box alone really will captivate your eye. Okay, Glenn, let's shut up for a second and let's get this thing out of the box and take a look at it. We'll take a look at the box first, then we'll take it out of the box. Let's get started. Okay, let's just look at the box for a second. I know it's kind of weird to say let's talk about the box, but MyArcade really did a nice job here, and I think they deserve a little credit for it. They've always done nice boxes before. You know, the box was a good paper stock, and you got to see, you know, inside the machine here. But this just really is drawing you into this game to show you there's going to be something special inside. Now, I'm not sure how well it comes out on the camera, but this blue speckle here is just gorgeous. I mean, it's just really such a beautiful, beautiful paint. It's almost something you'd see maybe on a very fancy boat or motorcycles. You know, the gas tank. It's just a really nice color blue, and it just really makes it draw you in. And again, the big open window here in the front with the little decal here showing, you know, it's a licensed, you know, Tato product. It's a nice hologram, but it's just really nice done. And MyArcade, I really have to take my hat off. I think this is the best box you guys have done yet. I know it's not why you buy these machines, but if you're a collector like me, it's absolutely gorgeous. Now I'm going to spin it around a little bit, and as you see around the side, you're going to see, you know, the box itself is definitely longer this way than the typical MyArcade machines, and I'm assuming that's due to the mirror that you have to put in here. And there's going to be the screen probably facing something like this with the mirror like this to give you that that backdrop. But I'm actually fine with that. I just really, really love this whole look. The artwork that was on the arcade machine. I mean, they did a really nice job here with this, and man, I'm just really excited about it. And Richie Knuckles, if you are watching, you're definitely going to want to pick this one up. And we get to the back here, and it's basically just going to show you, you know, saying it's a backlit marquee, which is a first on the MyArcade line. So I'm glad they listened to us about that. It's got the classic reflective display, so you can see, you know, the artworks in the back, and the invaders are literally on top of it, like a 3D effect. They have a front-facing speaker, which is nice, and they still have their illuminated coin door. So again, they just really, I think, hit it out of the park with listening to its fans of their product. And again, if you're a collector, the box here is really, really nice. And of course, they give a little stuff here on the game pane. Now, Space Invaders is not the most, you know, it's not like Halo or anything like that. It just basically stop the invasion. A little game history here. You know, it's just they move left to right, shoot them before they shoot you. But I did want to spend a little time on this box only because I think they did such a nice job on it. And if you do see this in the stores, I guess right now, you know, I was checking my my Walmart where I normally get these. They didn't have it, but it was on Amazon and I got it in like 3 days. So that's it for the box. Let's get the machine out and take a quick look at that. I'm really excited to turn this thing on and see how that mirror effect looks. So let's get this thing out of the box. Okay, people already know I'm a little bit crazy when it comes to these things. So what I do is, this is actually a back plate you would get from the old computers, you know, regular PC. And they're very good at sliding them in back here so you don't ruin your box. So when you put them in, I really hate damaging the boxes. So I slide it back here and look, it lifts it right up real nice. No damage to the box, and you can really take a breath of fresh air knowing nothing got ruined. So we're going to open this thing out of the box. Let's see what we got in here first. Now we have the the typical owner's manual here, and they're thick, but only thick because they have multiple languages in here. There's usually just basic information. Now, unlike the Basic Fun, they don't include batteries. It looks like it takes 4 AA batteries, but what they do is have a micro USB port, so you can always power it from a cell phone charger. And just basic information on the machine. Putting coins, headphone jack on the back. We'll take a look at it when we get the machine out. But it's not too much information. It's it's Space Invaders. And speaking of Space Invaders, when I had my non-lit marquee, Richie Knuckles, when he was here, actually signed my Space Invaders top. So thanks, Richie, again for that. It was a pleasure having you stop by the Glen's Retro Show studio. And after the instruction manual, we have the typical, little leaflet here. And, I'm sorry the camera's so close, but I have so much stuff in the studio right now. I basically have no room. so you can see, here, these are, there are other ones in the line. And these are all actually pretty good. They are Nes Roms.
I told you, I don't want to hear about no Nes Roms.
Yes, Negan, I know, I'm sorry. That's what these are up here. But they still play fairly well. The only one I really had a problem with, was the Galaga. I just didn't like how the sound worked. But the rest are actually okay. Again, $24 or less. They're pretty neat. Looks like they still have some other machines coming out. They're going to have Street Fighter 2, which I think is going to be pretty cool. And if I'm not mistaken, I think you can link these. So you can actually play head-to-head with somebody. So that would be kind of cool. Although I'm not a Street Fighter fan, I would definitely buy it. It looks really nice. And Contra, that would be pretty neat. So see how that one comes out. But this one here is what we're looking at today, is the Space Invaders. And then in the back, there are the machines here. I personally, I'm not a big fan of these. I don't own any of these pocket players. It just doesn't do it for me. But if you have them and enjoy them, kudos to you. So it's really nice. Again, even these have a good paper stock on it, so they don't cheap out. I mean, they spend some money on these machines, and it really looks like that. MyArcade does want to earn a fan base, and I'm really happy about that. So after that, we simply have to take off a plastic shield, which I dropped on the floor, and now we can take this bad boy out. Oh man, I am excited. It's almost a shame to put this box to the side, but I have to. But it's a really beautiful box, but away it goes for right now. And let's take a look now at this machine. And wow. Okay, so we have, it looks like a button here with 100 yen coin door here, which is how the machine was in Japan, which is kind of neat. We have the actual on-off button here, which is also illuminated, the coin doors, or speaker. We have a reset button, which is the black one. Player 1 button, player 2 button. So here's a fire button. So this is how we put the coins in. So that's kind of neat. I like that. Now the joystick goes left and right, and it feels good. And there is no up and down. Oh my God! Did someone actually listen and actually put just a left and right locked joystick, and it doesn't go up and down? Oh my! MyArcade. That's also another one right there. Left and right movement, no up and down. Now the only thing I'll say here is that the joystick version was pretty much either in the cocktail or in the Japanese version. The one you actually played in the U.S. actually had 2 buttons here, left and right. Small gripe, but that's just how I played it when I was growing up. I did play with the joystick as well, but for the most part, my first memories were left and right buttons and the fire button, because that's how it was done here in the States. But it looks beautiful. The white top on there. The artwork looks great. They have information here, which is way too small to see, but it actually looks like it might be written in Japanese. I don't know. It looks like it is in Japanese. But the controls, reset and hold that in English, fire button, that looks really good. The artwork feels nice. Doesn't feel like it's something that will rub off with extended use, and MyArcade is very good with that. All these feel really good. The area here looks great, and I do like, since they don't include batteries with the machine, they put this decal on here. And again, the decal is something I always save, so I usually take, the top here, and I usually peel this off and stick it on here to keep it. And it's almost a shame to take it off, but that's how it's going to look, hopefully. But we have to peel this off, and let's see how well it goes. Sometimes these are a little bit hard to get started. There we go. I think I got it. Oh. Come on. I have to turn this a little bit. Sorry, guys. See some of these side artwork. Here we go. So once you get that started. Ooh, and that looks deep with nothing in there, which is awesome. So I'm going to take this and temporarily just, I guess I'll just lay it in here as best I can. So I save those because I'm just weird that way. I know. So that's the front of the machine, and all this looks really good. A little glue stuck. There we go. Got the glue off there. Now the machine itself, the plastic feels pretty good. It doesn't feel squishy, so they definitely spent some time with the plastic. So let's kind of turn this thing around and just kind of see how this thing looks on the side here. And again, a beautiful job with the artwork. I mean, it looks really, really nice. The colors are pop. They're very vibrant, and it looks like this one is put on perfectly. The the joystick and the marquee, the front panel, everything here looks like it's put on properly. Now we scroll down to the back here. We can see we have our headphone jack with the volume controls, which is kind of nice. It's too bad the Arcade Warmth didn't have that, because the sound on that one, if we're playing at my house, you can actually hear it from New York and Texas. So that's good they have that on there. There is our micro USB for power, and then they have here, the battery compartment that'll take 4 AA batteries. And what's kind of interesting is they actually have the hole here for a screw. I know for children they usually put that in to protect it, so it looks like that's something that would have been there, but I'm kind of glad it's not, because it always bugs me. You have to take out that screw and you lose it or whatever. But in any case, it looks like it was there in the original design. We take a look at the other side again. The artwork looks fantastic. There's no scratches on it, no divots, no bubbles, and it's on there perfectly. Now this was $39 plus shipping off Amazon, and just from aesthetics, just looking at this thing and nothing else, the thing looks really, really nice. I do like how that looks completely black in there. You could still get that feeling that something special is going to be in there. Now what I need to do at this point, obviously, is find some power to plug this in. So let me find 5 volts, because I am going to plug this in to external power. So give me 1 second to get my adapter. And I think I might actually have here. Actually have it right here. And you can hear my crickety chair cricking away. All right, now we got to just make sure this power adapter can reach. And we're just going to turn this for a second, plug in our adapter back here. All right, guys, I'm excited. I haven't turned this thing on yet. I'm dying to see what this thing looks like. So that's our power button, so let's do it. Wow. I don't know if that's coming through the camera. I'll get maybe a closer angle. But I'm going to turn this myself just for a second here. And that looks pretty damn neat. It's not quite like the arcade machine was, because there's some LED. There's like 3 LEDs on this side and this side that I could see shining through, which is a little distracting. But actually, when you're looking at it face on, it's not too bad. But the Invaders look like they are, wow, on that background. So I think overall that looks good. I'll get a closer shot again. I'm not sure what was coming on the camera, but it's definitely, you can see well into the machine, and it's definitely on a mirrored effect. And it looks like, I mean, I'm trying to look at it really closely. I'm not sure if that's the actual arcade ROM or if it is a recreation, but it looks pretty good. Just trying to look at the screen when the game starts here. They do have the play with the Y upside down, which some of the arcade ROM did. And again, the arcade ROM is extremely small, and it doesn't take a lot of overhead to run it. And it looks like it might be the arcade ROM. I mean, all the Invaders look precise. A lot of times, they'll screw up one of the Invaders that don't look arcade accurate. All these look the way they should. And best way to know is to put a coin in and try it. So that's what I'm going to do. So this should be our coin right here. And actually make sure the volume's even up. I don't know if the volume's up or not. Let's make sure the volume is up. So let's hit the plus all the way. I'm not sure if there's any on-screen display for that. There is not. But, okay. We got the coin in and put a second coin in just for the heck of it. And we'll hit player 1. Well, I'm going to say right off the bat, the effect is very nice. The LED, the 3 LEDs on the right and left are a little distracting and kind of takes away from that immersive effect you had with the arcade. And the sound effects are accurate, but Space Invaders had a very, very deep bass, which you're not going to get in something this small. So the Invaders thumping sound is a little muffled. But man, this thing is definitely nice. The controls feel really good. The left and right on the joystick feels very tight, very good. And the fire button as well, as I get murdered, feels good too. Now, again, I can't say for certain yet if this is actually the arcade ROM, but if it's not, it's a damn good recreation of it. When everything's so small, it's definitely hard to see them. Oh my god, I'm going to be in trouble. Well, I got one ship left to get one of his ships. And I got him. So this is definitely based off the original Space Invaders, not part 2 where the Invaders would come down from the top. It would have been kind of nice if they gave you both those on here, but again, this alone is pretty cool. I do like that effect in there. Let me give you some of my final thoughts of the MyArcade Space Invaders. Okay, so what's my final thoughts of the MyArcade Space Invaders? Overall, extremely positive. I mean, I think this is definitely the best machine they've come out with yet. Of course, it's an older game, Space Invaders. You have to kind of like that kind of game, but it is absolutely a classic. The machine looks fantastic. The gameplay is pretty good. There are a couple of minuses. There are minor gripes. One is I love the mirror effect on there. But in looking at it, the LEDs, there's 3 LEDs on both sides here. They're there to illuminate the background image. Otherwise, it's probably very hard to see. Maybe they could have done a better way of diffusing that. It's a little distracting, takes away a little bit from the immersion of it. But again, I'm not an engineer, so I don't know if there was no way around that. But overall, my hat's off to them for pulling off that effect. It still looks great. I'm still not 100% sure if it's an arcade ROM or if it is a recreation. My gut, looking at it, is telling me it looks like it is the arcade ROM that's in here. Again, it wouldn't take a lot of horsepower to emulate it. The machine itself looks great. It does look bigger than the other machines, so it will definitely stand out from the other machines in the line. But I don't think that's something in a bad way. What might be kind of cool is if they made a little stand for this to make it actually, look a little bit more proportional to the machine, because they did a really nice job with how this thing looks. I mean, it's really for $39. For me, it's an absolute no-brainer at all. I'll probably have to get a few more now to add, because it's just really, from the box to this entire device, it's just a beautiful machine. I do like the little personal touches, like the coin door here. The joystick feels great, and hats off to them for making a 2-direction, not a 4 or 8-way direction joystick. They didn't cheap out. It's actually a 2-way stick. The buttons all feel really, really good. The light-up marquee, again, you had to do that with something like this, and they did. So, Willie and I over at Arcade USA are probably going to do another, maybe a collaboration video or a live stream to talk about this, because this is really for the price point, for what you get, for what they did, they really knocked it out of the park. Again, a couple small gripes. Again, the speaker is in the front. It's a very small speaker. Space Invaders is a very bassy, boom, boom, boom type of sound, and it's actually very, very tinny. It may come out different on headphones. Again, it's just an initial video looking at it, so maybe with headphones it'll sound better. But on the initial speaker, that bumping sound is, or the Invader sound is just very tinny. Again, I can't take that too much away from them because it's a small machine. But overall, is this a worthy pickup? Absolutely. I would say this is something that if you remotely collect these, remotely like Space Invaders, or even just, just like how this thing looks, it's $39 on Amazon. In my opinion, well worth it. They spent the time on this machine. They listened to the community on what we wanted, like to let up more keys, better controls, and better gameplay. And I'm actually in shock from the way how MyArcade started out a few years ago with their like Java-based arcade machine to this is a huge leap. Richie Knuckles, if you're watching, I'm telling you, buddy, you're going to want to pick this thing up on Amazon. So I want to thank you all for watching today. And again, look out for Willie and I's video on this. We'll probably, I'm not sure if it's a video or a live stream. We'll figure it out. This is kind of more of a rambling on video, and I apologize for that. But that's exciting, and it's been a crazy week. So I hope you guys had a great week, and leave a comment down below what you think about this. Do you think MyArcade did a better job now coming out with this machine? They put in some features you want, or are they going in the right direction? Or do you still feel, yeah, it's MyArcade, you don't really care? Leave a comment down below. I do thank you all for watching, and remember, no matter what you do or how you do it, remember to game on.
Glen at the Tiny Arcade fan page. Remember, don't admire people too much. They'll disappoint you.
Sit, Blue Blue, sit.
Good dog.
Glenn, you are a badass.